This is my story. I will preface that there are many portions of my story that I have omitted here as their brevity prevents me from sharing. However, I strongly believe that telling our stories is important to understanding our motivations, desires, and passions. I hope that my story serves to encourage and inspire those who need it. My name's Gia. I am a senior on the rowing team.
I've been a lot of places and I've coached a lot of people and I've coached a lot of special people, and there are a bunch of special people on this team, but she's one of the special ones. She just is, and I don't know how else to describe it.
She's just somebody that you know is always going to be there for you. She's just amazing. She's a big part of the team.
She is just a normal person, except not.
Currently, I'm working towards going into the medical profession to get my medical degree. I'm hoping to become a neurologist one day. My motivations for that are sourced out of my father's diagnosis with primary lateral sclerosis. He has all of the symptoms of someone with Lou Gehrig's disease, but he doesn't have as much of the pulmonary response that ALS is commonly associated with. It has been quite a journey for me and my family to be caretakers to that disease. There's been a lot of change that has happened over the course of his life and our lives, not only physically, but emotionally for him. My biological father is a recovering addict, and my adoptive father is the one who has PLS. Early on in my childhood, I was kind of in a cycle of going between parents, typical like divorced parents environment. And my biological father displayed a lot of characteristics as addicts do, just tendencies, aggressive tendencies, things like that. It was very difficult for me and my sister to live with him, the weekends that we did live with him. He is now sober and our relationship is growing, but of course back then it was really difficult, and that's why parental custody was taken from him, and I got to grow up with my dad. Shortly after my adoptive father and my mother married, and he was just my stepfather at the time, he started showing symptoms. Soon we started seeing behavioral deficits with his disease. He has what is called frontotemporal lobe dementia. It's shortened to be FTD. It's associated with a dramatic personality shift. You make real rational decisions. Your impulse control is not there, so you do, off-the-wall things. That was the part that was really hard to manage for me and my family. I was actually applying for UT on my living room couch, and as a senior in high school, in the next room, my parents decided to get a divorce. We were gonna have to figure out how to make sure that even though our family was breaking apart, that Dad was still cared for. I had to become co-medical power of attorney with my stepsister, Candace. We will just share the load with each other, and that's what we've been kind of doing since they divorced in 2016. On November 17th, 2019, I was on the field of Neyland Stadium awaiting the concert given by Garth Brooks with one of my best friends and teammate, Sarah Warner. While I was saving our seats, I received a call from my aunt that my biological father had an aortic dissection and was in the ICU at Park West Medical Center. She did not know if he was going to make it the night.
I brought her back some food and she was in tears, and I didn't know what was wrong.
I remember dropping in my seat and bursting into tears in the middle of Neyland Stadium. Sarah found me and immediately started bringing me to her car to take me to the hospital. Upon our arrival, I had to assume my biological father's medical power of attorney as his daughter.
She was taking on roles that most 20-year-olds wouldn't have done. And the things she saw and had to deal with, you shouldn't have to see and deal with.
During this time, I finished up my fall semester, gave consent for my biological father's medically induced coma, celebrated Thanksgiving in a hospital, studied for and took all of my finals, moved my mother to Knoxville for her new job, cared for my adoptive father at Fort Sanders Hospital, celebrated Christmas in a hospital, signed consent for my biological father's tracheotomy, went to our training camp in Cocoa Beach, and turned 21 years old in that order. That was a crazy winter, and I needed the structure of sports and the support of not only Sarah and all my other teammates, Coach Wendy and the coaching staff, having that family, that normalcy with rowing. And I got to go to practice every day and do something like routine and just put it on the oar. And so yeah, I'm super grateful for everybody that, has just been a part of my life.